I'm Dana Dixon. Thanks for joining us here on CBS 19 Plus. We are continuing our deep dive into the 17 proposed amendments to the Texas Constitution, measures all voters will see on the ballot. This morning, we're looking at two propositions, 11 and 17, which would increase homestead exemptions, providing potential property tax relief for Texans, especially seniors and those with disabilities. Ashley Godot has more.
I'm KVUE Political Director Ashley Godot here to continue our deep dive looking at the 17 proposed amendments to the state constitution that all Texas voters are weighing in on. Today, let's talk about two props that have a widespread support because they would increase homestead exemptions. We'll start with Prop 11. Here's what you'll see on the ballot. The constitutional amendment authorizing the legislature to increase the amount of the exemption from ad valorem taxation by a school district of the market value of the residence homestead of a person who is elderly or disabled. During the 2023 legislative session, lawmakers voted to increase the property tax exemption to $100,000. But the additional exemption given to Texans ages 65 and older and those who are disabled didn't change. It stayed at $10,000. If this prop passes, the additional savings given to seniors and the disabled would increase to $60,000, saving the average older Texan about $450 on their school tax bill every year. A lot of older and disabled Texans are on fixed income, so as property values across the state increase, it can be harder for seniors to stay in their homes. Supporters say this would help, and school districts wouldn't lose any money because the state will put more money in to make up the difference. That's also the case if Prop 13 passes. Here's that prop. The constitutional amendment to increase the amount of the exemption of residence homesteads from ad valorem taxation by a school district from $100,000 to $140,000. This one, pretty easy to understand, and earlier this year I talked with the author of the bill, State Senator Paul Bettencourt, about the impact it would have for Texas homeowners.
Well, the key component of SB 4 is that it raises the homestead exemption. When a homeowner gets a higher homestead exemption, it means they pay less. And on school taxes, it's really important. We've had a great run at raising the homestead exemption up to $100,000, but now we're going to go another 40%, raise it up to $140,000, and that saves the average home $363 a year, every year, for the rest of their lives.
If both of these propositions pass, Texas seniors and the disabled would get a property tax exemption of $200,000, which means a supermajority of seniors across the state won't have to pay any school taxes. Again, supporters say this provides real tax relief to Texans, but opponents warn if there's an economic downturn and Texas is faced with a budget deficit instead of a surplus, lawmakers could cut funding to public schools. After all, that's what happened in 2011. The choice, though, is up to you to vote, Texas.
For any information you might need for this year's election, get the CBS 19 voter guide. We can send that straight to your phone. Just text the word vote to 903-600-2600.